Hello, and welcome to Workplace Math 11 Online. My name is Mr. Kuchma, and I will be the teacher for this course. You can definitely think of me, though, as your guide, someone like, Gandalf the Grey, as I get you off to the right foot and send you off. This may be the last course that you need to graduate in some cases, or it could just be, a course that you need to take in grade 11 to get your math credit to graduate. But either way, it's exciting, and I want to be able to set you off on that right foot today and hopefully answer all the questions that you have about this course. Some of you may be taking this as your very first online course ever. Don't worry. I know this is going to be a long video, so you can take breaks and you can watch it in pieces, but this is the first thing that you should be doing. You should be watching this video to learn how the course is set up. I'll explain lessons, assignments, the tests, the final exam, and how to navigate through the online world. So at the very top of the page, here is the course intro video. This is mine from last year. I am wearing a blue shirt. This year, I am wearing a green shirt, though they honestly look pretty much the same. But I want to make a new video for the 2020 school year, so that is what I'm doing. Just below that is all my contact information. So please take note of this. You can always shoot me an email, and I strive to get back to you by the end of the next business day. Sometimes it'll be a lot shorter than that. Sometimes it may be a little bit longer. Right now, it is the first week of September, and I have, over 204 emails just sitting there ready to go. So it's busy. I am going to be switching this year to having my office hours all through Zoom. Previously, I used Skype, and it served me well, but Zoom is much more stable, and they've actually added a bunch of features that I really, really love. So that is how you can contact me for face-to-face meetings. And you can download Zoom here, and then once you're there, you can copy my email, and that's how you add me as a contact, is through my onlineschool.ca, Kuchma here. At the very beginning of the course, you do need to have an introductory Zoom meeting with me, so I can answer all of your questions. I can get you started. I can get to know you a little bit. You can get to know me a little bit. I really like those face-to-face meetings so that I can actually meet my students and put a face to your name. Additionally, what you should do, you can pause right now if you want, or you can do this afterwards, but I want you to read through the policies and procedures for this course. It goes through how the coursework is. You're gonna, be using Microsoft Word or PDF. So you're gonna be printing and different things like that. You have a mandatory Zoom meeting, like I just mentioned. It shouldn't take very long, but it opens up the things on your course. Your grades are weighted that the assignments and notes are each worth 10%. Those should be free marks, so a really good buffer to your overall grade. The chapter tests are 40%, the projects are 10%, and then the final exam is a minimum of 30%, but there's a policy at the very end on the final exam, so make sure that you read that as well. Communication, you can reach me through Skype Zoom and email. Chapter tests, make sure you've got nothing open, no cheating, and if anything is fishy that I find throughout your course, I may ask you to come meet me on Zoom, do some math questions with me online just so you can verify your work. But other than that, that's kind of it for policies and procedures. A formula sheet. Okay, so your first bit of homework is to print this off. It's very helpful, and it has just a lot of great information that you may want and require for doing conversions and different things. It's got probability things, a personal loan calculator. You will need this document right here to answer some of the questions in chapter 4. You cannot answer them without it, and some additional things here as well. So definitely want to have that off. And then you're going to meet with me on Zoom. You can do that if you've got parents in this course, you've got a tutor, anyone like that. I want to meet your whole math team. So if you're able to bring parents or your tutor or TA or whoever might be along, or if it's just you by yourself, that's fine. Let's chat soon. So In this course, just really quickly, there are projects, and originally I had made it so that um, you needed to complete all three. I have instead changed that. I've also omitted the chapter one project because it was very, very heavy. There was a lot of artwork involved. You had to make a like flip using a this like a flip animation, and so I didn't have people complete it. If you are like super artsy and you like would have really liked to have done that project, mention that to me in our Zoom call, and I can show you how you can access it. Otherwise, you can choose two from the probability, statistics, and finance projects, and those are the only two that you have to complete. I'm giving you more homework because I've got two additional videos that I'd like you to watch on PDFs, which is the desired formatting for you to submit your work in. So I want you to be able to scan your work in. So I've got a video here how to use Cam Scanner. Using your phone to make a scanned document is honestly like the best option. At least that's what I found. On my screen here, you can see my little daughter that was just born a couple weeks ago for fun. But yeah, Cam Scanner is an app that I use on my phone all the time, and I really, really enjoy using it. There's also a video here on how to compress your PDFs. Sometimes you'll find that you will actually try to submit something and it won't let you because it's so large, especially with some of these bigger assignments and bigger PDFs. Sometimes they just get too large in size. So you can compress it, and you can learn how to do that in this video as well. So without further ado, here are the chapters. So there's technically only 4 in this course, which is awesome. It's not a huge course, but they do cover quite a bit in each chapter. So there are 3 parts to this. There are the lessons, there are the assignments, and then there are the tests. And then at the very, very end, there's the final exam. But the lessons is where you start, and then you submit your notes here. There's a hand-in box, then there's the assignment, and then we go on. So I'm going to pop into a lesson here. If I go into lesson 1, it's going to log me to StudyForge. StudyForge is where all of your lessons will take place. It's an awesome online program that we have. But to start off, you need to print off your notes. So it says, remember to print off your notes. The very first thing to do that is you go up here into this printer icon, and you click on that. It will default to just having lesson 1, and you will want to click all 4 lessons because you want to print off the entire chapter. If you want to do the whole chapter at 1, you can literally just print off all 4 chapters and you can go from there. And I'm going to talk about this in a second, but practice questions can either be done online or on paper. And if you did want to print some off, you can also just click questions there. But I'm just going to print off the videos for right now, and I'll show you what that looks like. So it opens up a document, and all of your videos are here. And in this top corner, that's where the printer icon is. You can click on that, and from there, you can choose either to have a printer or to have a PDF. So if you are like really super duper tech savvy, you can actually say this is a PDF and you can do your work online. But most oftentimes, students are going to be printing this off and using a pencil to fill it all out and going from there. So this is what it kind of looks like. You notice that there's lots of fill in the blanks. There's questions that you have to answer. There's hot tips you have to fill in. All of this is going to be in the lesson videos. So instead of printing this off, I'll just cancel, move my head back. All right, so I'm going to cancel out of that, and I'm going to cancel out of this. And so now that you've printed off your note package, now we can watch the videos. So the videos will have the information that we need to fill out. I'm not going to watch them. I've watched them before. But as you can see, when you skip ahead, it's going to have certain things that you'll be filling out in your notes. So it's really great. And as you're going through, there's going to be different videos on the left-hand side here. So this particular lesson has 4 videos that teaches 4 little ideas or concepts. Underneath this are practice questions. And yeah, from there, then you can move on to the assignment. However, I do want to show you. Okay, so just depending on whether you use a specific uh, web browser, I suggest Google Chrome. You may have to make sure that Flash is allowed. The default is Ask, but you want to make sure that you choose Allow, and then it should allow you to play all the Flash videos. I know they're actually updating them to not use Flash anymore, but as of this September still, they are still in that format. So just make sure that you click on the Allow, and then you'll be able to watch all the videos. So as you watch the videos, please make sure that you watch all of them. Do not skip through. You do get a mark on how many videos you watched. So make sure that you are watching them. And the last thing is that practice questions are required to be completed. There are 21 practice questions here. You don't have to do them all. I require students to do 5 from each lesson. So this chapter has 4 lessons, which should be a total of 20 practice questions to complete it. That is all for a lesson. I should mention that you can do your practice questions online if you wish. So you can put your answer on the side here, show your work. But what's actually great about the practice questions is that the answer will pop up. So it can say show answer. And then you can choose yes, you got it right, or maybe no, you didn't. If you got the question wrong, you are able to click on this orange solution button and look at the steps to actually get the right answer, which is awesome. So keep that in mind. And that is how a practice question is completed. Once you've completed the whole, I'm going to go back to the course page. Once you've completed the entire chapter worth of lessons, then you should be ready to write the assignment. However, you need to submit this. And now I want to talk about course activation. You may hear that from a bunch of different people, but course activation is really important. It proves that you've started the course and that you've done something. So to get Workplace Math 11 activated, you have to complete the Chapter 1 note package and submit it into the hand-in box here. So complete the 4 lessons of videos, fill out those notes, and then do the 20 practice questions, and then you can move forward. If you're an LS or SE student, you may have a reduced number of practice questions, and we would talk about that during our introductory Zoom meeting, just as an aside. So once that's completed, you are going to go into the note package and practice question submission. Like I mentioned before, there's different grades for different things. So there's 4 marks for completing the notes. Did you complete them all? Awesome, 4 marks. Did you do the 5 practice questions from each lesson? Awesome, 3 marks. Did you watch all the videos, or at least more than 75% of the videos for the chapter? Awesome, 3 marks. And that is 100% 10 out of 10. So ideally, every student will always get 10 out of 10 when they submit their notes, and they should be free marks for you. How you actually submit your work is you click Add Submission, and then you're able to drag and drop a file here. So I can just drag and drop a PDF, or you can use a Word doc and you can drag and drop that. There's also a select feature here, so you can go through your computer and you can choose a file, but I don't need to. So that is how this works. And what I want to show you that's important is that once you've submitted something in here, this is where you're going to get your feedback. So it'll get graded and it'll have comments from the marker who marks it here as well. So I want to quickly go back to that just to show you again. This is the same for the notes, assignments, and tests. You're always going to get feedback back in the hand-in box. So when you've completed your notes, you submit it, it's like, yeah, you're done. But you want to make sure that you find out how you did. So you should get an email notification that I've marked it, or someone has. I actually have a couple people that help me mark assignments specifically, which we'll talk about in a second. But yeah, that's kind of where that happens, sorry. And so the next thing is the assignment. So you can either use the Microsoft Word document if you want to work online, or you can choose the PDF and you can print it off. And the assignment is a check to see if you're at the level of understanding that you should be before moving on to the test. So that's really important. You will need to select a achievement goal for the chapter. So are you trying to get an A+? Are you trying to get an A? Are you trying to get a B? C, D is like just a straight 50%. We're going to mark you very differently based on the achievement goal that you have. So if you're aiming to get a B and you get a few questions wrong, but overall you didn't do too bad, that's awesome. You can move on to the test. You're going to make a couple mistakes in the test as well, but you'll probably still get that B. If you're aiming to get an A+ in this course, however, we want to see that you're roughly getting everything correct on the assignment. So if you made those same mistakes, we would want you to correct them. So you are able to resubmit your assignment if you didn't get 1 out of 1. So it's designed to be pass or fail until you pass, so that even if you made mistakes, you're able to resubmit them and ultimately pass and move on. So this is where we provide some feedback. So there's lots of different types of questions. And if you do get something wrong, we're going to give you hints and things like that. So like I said, if you are wanting to get feedback on this and find out how you did, if you want to see the hints that we had, all those types of things, you need to go back into your submission, into this hand-in box, and then our feedback is going to be here for you. So once you've done your assignment and we say, you know what, this student is awesome, they're ready to do the test, they've met the achievement goal that they want to get, then the test is going to open up. The test it's very different than the rest of the course. It has a time limit on it, and it's where you get the bulk of your marks from. It's worth a larger portion of your grades than other things. So that's important to note. It's also very important to note that you need to show your work for this chapter test. Very, very important. So I'm going to open up the test written work here. It's not going to have any of the questions. What it's going to have is just the worksheet. As you can see, it's all blank, and the questions are going to be online. They're randomized for every student. And as you complete all 20 questions, you need to show your work for here. So each question on a test is out of 3 marks. 1 mark for choosing the multiple choice question correctly, so A, B, C, or D. And then the other 2 marks are for how you submit your work into this little slot. So make sure, even if it's a really easy question, if you just write your answer as A, you're only going to get 1 out of 3 marks. And that's really unfortunate. I want students to get the maximum amount of marks possible. So please show your work, write out a reason, do some justification, anything to say why you're choosing what you're choosing so that you can get the grades for that. And even if you get the question wrong, if you've shown some of the right steps, then you can get part marks, which is also great. So that is how tests work. That test written section, if I go back to the course here, take me there. Yeah. So the actual test is here, and it's not unlocked until you've completed your introductory Zoom meeting with me and until you have successfully completed your assignment. So there's 4 chapter tests in the course. Every single chapter follows the same format of lessons and then assignment and then test. And that's pretty much it. There are additional projects, like I mentioned, and you got to choose 2 of them. And at the very end is the final exam. So if you're a BCO student, you're going to be able to schedule your final exam. And I've got some instructions here for setting up things in Examity. If you're an HCO student, you can email me directly and we can set up the final exam. So at the very end, the final exam is how you complete the course. You need to have finished the entire course before writing the final exam. You can't write the final exam and then go back and do your chapter 4 test. I want you to be fully completed. So like I said, this is a long video. If you paused along the way, that's fine. Hopefully you made it to the end here. You know exactly what to do moving forward in order to be successful in this course. I look forward to getting to actually meet you guys face-to-face in our introductory Zoom call. That way you can get to know me even more and I can get to know you. So bring your questions to that Zoom call and I will see you soon. Take care.